Hey, I'm Kev Hillman. Welcome back to Monster Energy Supercross as we're heading to the penultimate round of the season. Kev Hillman is rolling. Can he make it 3 in a row at the Metlife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey? And it is raining again for Hillman as he begins his 3 laps of qualifying here. And what fantastic conditions for him as he dominated these conditions last season. We're able to do the same on the Husqvarna. If he does, he'll be looking very good for the title, even if Osborne finishes second, even if Smith finishes second. Or Joey finishes second as well. Very good as you go into the whoop section for this very fast right hand, almost losing that rear. It takes a very wide line. That is perhaps not the best, so you want to make this a triple, but wonder if he's doing that. And again, trying to make that a triple, but again, just failing. Gonna make this a triple. Ooh, just about. And make that into a double-double. And then into the final hairpin. Take a wide line, ripping out the rear end, not too much as he does the fast lap so far, 102.7. I bet you need to be under the minute mark though. Have a really competitive time. And you can see Joey already goes quickest. Already in first. Let's just go around the outside of rider here. Ooh, just about getting blocked off. It's now Zach Osborne, of course, goes fastest on this Husqvarna. So go slide it round that right-hander. Fantastic for the photographers. Maybe not for that time though. Again, casing that jump. Not very good at all. As they go double, triple, maybe not quite. Double, double. That's a bit better. He goes a bit wide. And the car's sort of again into the final corner. That's a minute point 3. That's more like it, Hillman. So that's the fast end. Look how muddy his overall's already getting. How tricky these conditions are, especially this first jump section for a couple of riders as it goes into 4 and almost into riders. But I don't think he wants to do that in the heat races, so going over the top, almost into the riders, going into that fast right-hander as he's almost a second head of Zach Osborne. No, now he's the master in qualifying over the previous master. And Husqvarna. And then we got a couple of Cadillacs with Adam and Joey, then indicating around to the top 5 of Smith. Mitchell Harrison, Christian Craig, Alex Martin, Dylan Fernandez, and RJ Hampshire rounds out the top 10 on his Honda as you look through the field. Chaz down in 32nd with Michael Cook at the back on his Yamaha. But now has finals to be in different heats. So can Hillman win his heat and make it through to the main event? As for reaching level 90, you never guess what you get as a portrait. A bronze 9. So here's high side at the inside alongside our man Smith. As he revs at the edge, wait for the gates to drop. Gets underway. Ooh, just gets muscled out. As he takes a very cautious approach to the first couple of balls. You can see, whoa, with all those blocks flying everywhere. Everyone's struggling over these jumps as well. Trying to get it down to second gear is Hillman. Gain any traction, but he's in a transfer spot so far as well. What is Daniel Walker doing? Landing on high side. Go over the whoop section now, in sit. Then through the fast right hand, almost turning in too tight there. Having to steer out of it. Let's look at that 3 wide in front. So it's like Fernandez losing out on his Yamaha. Out of the top 5 now. And almost into the back of Hillman as they go elbow to elbow in the mud, in the rain. We've got Smith in front, Adam in third. So who's actually leading this thing? Let's find out. He's got Christian Craig in second. You did. Now Hill, high side. Getting pushed into the block on the inside, having to reverse out of there in 12. It's not good at all. Is it Sorensen leading? He gets around Gus King for 11th. Transfer spot right in front. Still got almost half this heat race to go though, so Iso's not worried as he gets back into the top 9 ahead of Keith. be that, of course. Last time out, now he gets ahead of Peters up into 7th. Got Donald Blazer in front, and Highside almost pushed off by Carl Peters, pushed wide though. Loses that spot, down to 8th. He's got Daniel Walker in 9th behind, as now Lorenzo occupies that spot. So Hillman gets into the back there. But Peters again, he's just been a nuisance this race, isn't he? It's over halfway through this heat race. That's much better for my son. The last part of those jumps down the inside of Donald Blazer, up into 6th. Now down over the top of Sorensen, your early leader, dropping back to 5th already. He could be in danger of missing out if he drops back any further. It's Christian Craig having a massive battle for 3rd with Adam. And this Honda, you got Smith in 2nd. And look at this, all 4 now, the Wild Bunch battling for 2nd. So once again, Highside turning in too early. He will Highside if he does that in the race at any speed. So Smith almost lands on Hillman. He gets pushed wide by Craig. No love lost between those two. And now Highside gets punted by Craig. So he's got a couple of laps to recover. He's got Sorensen back up into 5th. But only temporarily as Hillman takes that back. He's gone to penultimate lap of the race. Craig very slow over that jump. Hillman tries to make the move on the Honda, but very much elbows out from Craig, but he's finally passed. Here's Hillman. Now he's looking at Smith for 3rd. Adam in 2nd. And a massive lead. Whoever that is. It's Hillman. Very aggressive on Smith. It's Dylan Fernandez leading on the Yamaha. Used to these conditions from XGP, no doubt. And from Europe. So no wonder he's leading on his Yamaha. So Hillman tries to make that a triple, not quite working out. Trying to make that a triple, once again not working out. It's all very wide, onto the blocks. And he's cartwheeling, the bike is springing towards Jupiter, towards the moon. It's Hillman just ahead of Lorenzo. Smith down to 6th after getting bullied by Hillman. Has gone to the final lap. Christian Craig really does not want to give up 3rd, but he has to in the end. As Hillman grabs that spot, can he get past Adam for 2nd? Guaranteeing himself a very good starting spot for the main event. I just don't think he'll grab the lead from Dylan Fernandez. 8.2 seconds ahead. 7-second lead. Just been a class of 1 in this heat race. Got a Yamaha. So that's better over those jumps. Can't quite make it a triple, but if you're not going to be able to do that, at least land it. And keep that momentum going. Which he has struggled to do it at times in this race. Again, over these jumps, he's struggling to do it. And he's down in the final jump. Getting a bike up quickly, Hillman. So he can grab 3rd ahead of Christian Craig. But somehow he does his fastest up on the final lap as well. That's after 5 laps. Dylan Fernandez wins by 7.4 seconds. What a dominant ride from the Yamaha ahead of Adam Hillman in for 10 seconds behind his former MX2 rival, with Lorenzo in 4th on another Yamaha. Definitely a race to be on the Yamaha. As we've got Smith in 5th. I still don't understand how Hillman did his fast lap on the final lap though. As Christian Craig in 6th. Devin Sorensen in 7th. Your early lead on the Honda still makes it through to the main event with Carl Peters in 8th. And John Matson in 9th ahead of Clayton Elliott and Donald Blazer. Looking further down, we've got Daniel Walker down to 15th on his Kawasaki, battling for the top 9 for the early part of the race. And Matthew Martin in 18th on the Husqvarna. So let's see what his fellow Husqvarna runner can do in the main event.
The final race of the evening, the Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship main event. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Cheney. Welcome to our live coverage from Metlife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The world's fastest supercross riders have battled hard just to make it to this moment. Who will rise up and stand on the top step of the podium tonight? He has the speed and the style that makes him a fan favorite. Get ready. The gate is about to drop. Here we go.
As here's Highside revving up in the middle alongside Hassan and Joey and Adam as we get underway. Osborne going for the whole shot on Hillman, almost ruffled out as it goes 3-4 wide. Can he keep momentum up though over the jumps? He can, just about ahead of Osborne and Christian Craig and RJ Hampshire. Not ahead of Osborne then, ahead of the Hondas. He's getting past a bunch of them down the inside of Cameron McAdoo as well. He's got Joey ahead, Alex Martin in third. You can see Jordan Smith battling for second with Dean Fernandez. Your heat winner by a country mile. It's all wide from Hillman, but he gets a good jump. Gets good momentum, gets ahead of Joey. He's got Dean Fernandez in third, Alex Martin in second, and oh, Hillman flying onto the blocks, and oh, another rider goes flying as well. As now he's back behind Zach Osborne, or just ahead of Zach Osborne, as they get into it. 4 wide at the end of this opening lap. He's got Charlie Jones in front, or did, as Hillman gets into the top 10. It's Mitchell Howson leading. Oh, it's not going to be a dominant performance then for Hillman this time around, or is it? Because he's good over those jumps ahead of RJ Hampshire and Cameron McAdoo. But kills his momentum in second gear. Maybe got to get down to first for future laps. He gets it out first that time around. He gets a much better run over the whoops. He's got Travis in front, in sixth. Battling with Christian Craig. Elbows out, Craig. In this event, his penultimate round of the season. He's not had a good season on the Honda. Sure, he's got top 10s, but wants better. He's showing it here in the wet. So again, a bit wide from Highside. Manages to recover it though. So goes into the last couple of jumps. So you can see a bit of a line forming. Behind Smith is that for the podium. You saw Hillman into the back. A couple of riders. It's not Smith. Smith's near the back, is he? That's how here goes Hillman over the jumps, going over the blocks as well, looking down the inside of Travis. And he's going to grab sixth. Once again, being very aggressive on riders making moves. He's got Alex Martin in front. He's got Dean Fernandez in second. It is Smith near the back. It's Fernandez trying to chase after Mitchell Howson in the lead. There's Christian Craig and Joey making it 3 wide. Hillman just about survives though. As he goes over the jumps, again, just keep the momentum up. High side, that's better. And then over these jumps, he can catch up to Alex Martin. As he keeps the momentum up, you've got Dean Fernandez in second, having a superb routing on the Yamaha. Oh, and here comes Hillman for third. Not quite on the podium though. Then it's Smith down in 19th. But he's got a lot of the race to go to make up those positions. That's all it did. Hillman go into the back of Alex Martin there. Killed his momentum over those jumps. And look at that lead for Mitchell Howson over Dean Fernandez. He's got a pretty handy lead in second over third. Over this battle for third, which Hillman seems to take, does he? Down the inside of Alex Martin. They're both drifting through the right-hander. Oh, Hillman tries to do the cutback, but Martin shuts the door on him. Blocks that path. And holds on to third for another day as Lorenzo's up to fifth ahead of Christian Craig. They're having a fantastic battle behind. Joey part of that battle as well. That's important for the championship. As here goes Hillman over the jumps for third. He makes it stick. As he goes to the end. After that, it slips into the minutes. Does he know? Minute 0.1. But he's 2.3 seconds behind Dean Fernandez. 5.3 behind Mitchell Howson in the lead as he approaches the halfway mark of this race. Highside has got to fly in the second half of this to win. For the third time on the trot after that failure in Indianapolis. What a response it has been. And that's fine. And this one, he's going to get a podium at least as he's really marching after Fernandez in the first part of this lap. Taking a second out the Frenchman. Out the Yamaha. That's all he's toying with the blocks on the outside. That's not too bad. 4.1 behind Mitchell Harrison. As he's killed his momentum though into these jumps. Look at that lack of momentum, no flow at all. Just gains no time then. The rider's in front. She tries to gain momentum through the hairpins as Zach Osborne out the top 10. As how has Hillman hung on to that, hitting the block on the inside. Again, Kim's momentum, getting his flow over those jumps. He's going to go into the clutches of Alex Martin, Lorenzo behind, rather than catching Dean Fernandez. He's catching Mitchell Harrison for the lead as he go into the second half of this race. That's better over that whip section. And then through the right-hander, drifting it. Kind of momentum into the jump as, maybe he's got to go flat out into that jump as he's got no momentum to make that into a triple. And again, killing his momentum as he's 3.1 behind Fernandez when it looked like he was catching them on the previous lap. He goes into the blocks. What are you doing, Hillman? Look at this, he's going in a clutch of Alex Martin rather than catching the top two. When we know he's got pace round it. Absolutely terrible laps after he's got into third. The Zach Osborne into the top 10 behind. Got to concentrate, Hillman. Just keep the flow up. He's totally lost it. And again, drifting that rear end, whipping it round. Let's look at the top two, virtually on each other's tails. The Yamahas. As you can see, 3.8 seconds in front is Mitchell Harrison. To go through the right hand, and look at that drifting. From Hillman taking that corner in third. That's much better momentum as they are doing battle for the lead. And in this like Fernandez has taken it ahead of Harrison. Fernandez wants a victory. He sniffs it on his Yamaha as Hillman trying to gain on them. He's built the lead back up on Alex Martin at least. And does a 59.5. That's much better. As he got over a quarter of the race to go. That's much better speed through the first part of these jumps. And now he's really gaining on Fernandez and Harrison. This is it. He's now focused. It is Hillman, but again getting his momentum over those jumps. It goes back down to second. And now into the fast right-hander in third gear. And then no speed into these jumps. Gets it down to second, but he's keeping up with the top two now. But then no momentum into these jumps. Come on, Hillman. Got to be a bit more consistent. Look at this lap time is already poor. A minute 2 after you just set a 59. What are you doing? Because he's 2.9 behind Fernandez with 4 laps to go. But the top two are doing battle, which is helping him. Mitchell Harrison takes back the lead from Fernandez. That's the only saving grace for Hillman. As he may have the pace, but his lap times are inconsistent like hell. And now he's 2 seconds behind the leader of Harrison. And you can see the top two right in front. As he goes, tries to triple that. I don't think it's possible. That's much better over those jumps. Got a 6-second lead of Alex Martin behind. You've got Lorenzo in 5th. And he's about to take second as he from Harrison round the outside. As Fernandez leads just in front. And he sets up 59 too. Where's that come from? After a minute 2, the previous lap. As here comes Harrison trying to push Hillman round. Hillman having none of it. And now right into the back of Dylan Fernandez for the lead. Does he take it? He does, chops in front, tries to do the block pass. Just look at this, 3 wide over these jumps. The beginning of this lap, and Hillman does take the lead. He's performing just when he needs to. On this penultimate lap of the race. Taking the lead in the wet here in New Jersey. It's not been a pretty performance. But when he needs to perform, he's doing it at the end of this race. Oh, does he? He's into the blocks. What? Come on. Get off the cone, Hillman. What are you doing? Now he's guaranteed third, it looks like. He's got a massive gap to Harrison and Fernandez in front. This is not good for the championship. When Osborne's down in 8th, Smith's down in 11th, Jerry's dropped down out of the top 5. He needs to score these big points to have a safe cushion heading to Las Vegas, where anything can happen in Vegas. We saw last season. And it's like Dylan Fernandez is going to grab the victory. Got Mitchell Harrison in front. This is a disappointing third after... No doubt he's got the speed. He's set 59, so everyone else is struggling to break the minute barrier. I mean, look at that pathetic momentum. Into these corners. As he's trying to push like a hell to grab second. But again, he's hitting those blocks. And that killed his momentum over these jumps. As he goes into the hairpin. For the final time, it's Fernandez from Harrison. And Hillman with another 59 on the final lap, all over the place. As at least it's a podium, I guess, but behind the 2 Yamahas with Martin in 4th, top KTM, ahead of another Yamaha in Lorenzo, making it 3 out of the top 5, ahead of the Kawasaki of Jerry in 6th. Then Zach Osborne recovered to 7th, ahead of Christian Craig, Adam down in 9th. Jordan Smith gets a top turn in the end, ahead of Cameron McAdoo. And Gregory Marlowe in trouble in his KTM with John Matson in last. But slightly disappointment for Hillman in 3rd, as he no doubt had the pace to win this race.
You can tell these guys have been doing their work during the week. They came into this race fast, strong, and ready to battle.
So heading to the final race of the season, Kev Hillman leads Zach Osborne by 7 points, with Smith a further 7 points behind, and Joey in 4th, 19 points back. Adam is out of the title race in 5th, with Alex Martin in 6th, Mitch Harrison up to 7th, ahead of Dylan Fernandez, Christian Craig in 9th, and Travis ran out the top 10, with Lorenzo just outside of it after a fantastic result. As we go right to the back, 40 riders scored so far this season, with John Matson the newest of them. As for level 95, we get new butt patches. We get What's Up and Fearless, which no doubt Fernandez, Harrison and Hillman were in that race. As we just got the Soundboard Stadium and Las Vegas, where East and West collides, has the 250 Supercross Championships race in Las Vegas. We're going to have some heat races. It's going to be madness. It's going to be tough for Hillman to even make it through to the main event. And it could be decided by that. We've reached the end of the championship. Tried to reach at least top position 3 for Hillman. If he does that, he'll be guaranteed the title no matter what Osborne does. Or he has to finish, he does have to finish in the top 3. Let's take it easy, eyes, so the title's already yours, says Joseph Smith. Or don't be so confident, as we look through the fans' results. You're in first place high, so you have to defend it tooth and nail, says James Goddard. No doubt he does in Las Vegas. Anything can happen. What will happen? We will find out next time. Sound fortune. We'll see you then.